Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, step right up, come one, come all! My name is Robin, and I'll be your host tonight at the lovely Chateau de Nocturne. Our tables are open, so come on down and test your luck. What's that? You think our tables are rigged? Well, that wouldn't be very sporting of me, now would it? Just because your definition of random is different from ours doesn't mean it's wrong. So come on down, see how good you might be. But just be warned, sometimes it's better to be good than lucky. All theatrics aside, luck is an interesting beast in Nocturne. Luck is easily the most passive stat in the game out of the 5, as it is in many games, but it's easy to boost luck and see certain things as confirmation bias in this game. But in reality, luck actually doesn't do a whole heck of a lot, and much of what it does actually do is stuff you could pretty easily miss. Based upon a Japanese wiki I was provided by a friend, luck affects, and I quote, preemption rate, escape rate, magic hit rate, magic avoidance rate, critical rate, drop rate, bad status avoidance rate, and amount of Macca scattered during confusion. Considering this is Google pretending to know Japanese, I think what it's trying to say is that luck affects your chance to get the first turn in combat, your chance to avoid getting attacked from behind, your chance to run away on normal mode, magic accuracy, magic evasion, critical hit rate, item drop rate, status recovery rate, and Macca dropped during panic. Now, not everything in the above statement is true.
It's false. No way. It's fiction.
So, let's break this down one at a time. Before I do though, special shoutouts to Zambero, the creator of the Nocturne Hardtype mod, as well as Macca, one of the creators of the Nocturne Randomizer mod. I managed to get in contact with both of them for this video, and between Zambero's article he posted a while ago about some stuff luck does, as well as Macca helping me suss out some final formulas from the game, I was able to make this video as feature complete as I could. So, let's get down to it. Enemy Surprise. The odds to get the first turn is actually somewhat interesting, and it uses the following formula. 72 plus Demi-Fiend's level plus Demi-Fiend's luck divided by 2 plus Demi-Fiend's agility minus the enemy's average level plus the enemy's average agility plus the enemy's average luck divided by 2. All of that is then multiplied by a value we'll call x. What is x, you might be wondering? Well, x is a value generated at the start of every encounter. This value can be 1.0, 0.8, 0.6, 0.4, or 0. Not 0.2 for some reason, who knows why, but it means that our percent chance of first turn is either 100%, 80%, 60%, 40%, or 0% of whatever we calculate. Let's take an example from a fight in the Tower of Kakatsuchi during my solo run. 2 Yearlunger and a Lilith. So Yearlunger is level 66, has 9 agility, and 13 luck. Meanwhile, Lilith is level 80 with 17 agility and 15 luck. So, let's step through this. Average level is 66 plus 80 divided by 3, for a total of 70.66. Average agility is 9 plus 17 divided by 3 for 11.66. And average luck is 13 plus 15 divided by 3 for 13.66. When we put all of these into the enemy formula, we get 70.66 plus 11.66 plus 13.66 divided by 2 truncated, and we all know how that works now. So 70.66 plus 11.66 plus 6.833, which just becomes 6. Everything added together, we get 88.33 repeating. Now, since I was level 127 in this point and had 40s in every single stat, this makes my formula easy. 127 plus 40 divided by 2, truncated, though that doesn't matter, plus 40, all of that added together is 187. So, our final formula is 72 plus 187 minus 88.33 times x, for a total of 170.66 times x. So, our percentage chance of getting the first turn in this particular combat is either 170.66%, 136.533%, 102.4%, 68.266%, or 0%. Does this seem unnecessary and confusing? Why is agility more crucial here than luck? Good, moving on. Chance to avoid getting back attacked. This actually uses the same values as the last formula, it's just the formula that's different. This formula is 12 times the enemy average level plus the enemy average agility plus the enemy average luck divided by 2, divided by all of the same for the Demi-Fiend. Taking the numbers from above, we get 12 times 88.33 repeating divided by 187 for a total of 5.668% chance to avoid getting back attacked. Astute observers may realize that the way the formula is structured, it's impossible to completely eliminate the odds of getting attacked from behind entirely. Even assuming an encounter with a level 1 creature with 1s in every stat, which is not something that exists, the minimum possible numerator would be 12 times 1 plus 1 plus 1 half, or 12 times 2.5, which is equal to 30. That said, the better your Demi-Fiend stats are, the more you can lower that chance over time. Chance to run away. This one definitely gets weird, and it's the first time that I've seen luck affect something just as much as agility. Shocking, I know. But your odds to get away, only on normal of course, are 20 plus 20 times 2 plus the player team's average agility plus the player team's average luck divided by 4.2. Divided by 2 plus the enemy average agility plus the enemy average luck, also divided by 4.2. While it may be a bit disingenuous to do so, I'll use my party of 1 here again as an example. Keep in mind though, in general your numbers here will be lower since most of your demons aren't going to be pulling the same stat numbers as the Demi-Fiend. So, using the same numbers from before, 20 plus 20 plus 2 plus 40 plus 40 divided by 4.2 divided by 2 plus 11.66 plus 13.66 divided by 4.2. 40 plus 40 is 80, 11.66 plus 13.66 is equal to 25.33, 80 divided by 4.2 is 19.048, 25.33 divided by 4.2 is 6.032, that 19 and change plus 2 is 21.048, that 6 and change plus 2 is 8.032, 20 times 21.048 is going to be 420.95, divided by 8.032 is equal to 52.41, plus 20 is equal to 72.41%. This is probably one of the more awkward formulas to math out, since the order of operations has us go in a really weird order. But at the end of the day, it actually works in the player's favor, since the player is consistently given at least a 20% chance to run away before anyone's stats have any effect on anything, with the player's stats being given the most priority. Magic accuracy and magic evasion. This is actually one of the examples of how self-sufficient magic is as a stat. This formula is going to get beefy, so sit down. The accuracy of the skill times the attacker's level plus the attacker's magic stat times 2 plus the attacker's luck stat divided by 2 plus 17.5 divided by the defender's level plus the defender's agility times 1.5 plus the defender's luck plus 17.5. I'm not gonna break this one down, since this formula varies so much based on who's attacking, who's being attacked, and even sometimes what move's being used, although that's rarer since most moves just have 100% accuracy at base. But you might be noticing a common trend among these formulas. In almost every single formula so far, some other stat is given priority over luck. Luck does boost your magical accuracy, yes, but magic itself is worth 4 times as much. Luck does boost your odds of dodging, but agility does so 50% more. Across nearly every instance of luck coming into play, it is eclipsed by either magic or agility. Critical hit rate. Well, here's an exception to what I just said, since luck actually doesn't apply here at all. If you want to land a crit on a physical hit, you actually need to calculate your chance to hit first. For more on that, see my video on physical accuracy, but your chances to hit are actually whatever you calculate for physical accuracy, divided by the skill's base accuracy, again, usually 100, multiplied by the skill's base crit rate. Keep in mind, multiplication and division in the order of operations technically have the same priority, so we simply do the formula from left to right. Thankfully, your accuracy usually hovers around 93 to 106%, as we saw in my video, so that means the left side of the formula will usually be 1, and then the skill's individual crit rate is factored in. For example, Frykugel has a crit rate of 30%, so its crit rate will usually just be a flat 30. Though, funnily enough, that means crit rate is another thing that drops with your level. I actually didn't realize that before recording this script, fuck. I'm not sure where this conception that luck affects crit chance comes from other than simple confirmation bias. Because, of course you would assume luck affects crit chance, right? Like, that's the thing that luck affects. Why would you not assume? Status recovery rate. Now, here's actually something interesting. Recovery from statuses is actually based on luck. And solely based on luck. There's no bit here. It's like the one thing that luck actually determines on its own. Like, it's not shared by any other stats. Only luck and level affect this. So, every single status ailment uses the same base value to determine your odds from healing from it on a given turn. I don't think this value has a proper name, but we'll call it heal rate, or HR for short. Heal rate is equal to luck divided by 20 plus your level divided by 5. So, using our Demi-Fiend example from earlier, at level 127 with 40 luck, our odds are going to be 40 divided by 20 plus 127 divided by 5. 20 plus 127 is 147, divided by 5 is 29.4, for a total of 1.361. With that being our HR, our odds of healing off any given status are as follows. For Charm, it's 40 times our HR value. For Panic and Bind, it's 30 times HR. And for Sleep, it's 20 times HR. That means on any given turn, our odds of curing any of the above status effects are as follows. For Charm, it's 40 times 1.361, for a total of 54.42%. For Panic and Bind, it's 30 times 1.361, for a total of 40.82%. And for Sleep, it's 20 times 1.361, for a total of 27.21%. I'm honestly a bit shocked Vitality has nothing to do with this, to be honest. I mean, at least for Bind or Sleep, you would expect it to, since those are the bodily stats, but still, I'm just happy luck isn't totally useless. Like, can you imagine if luck was only good for 2 things in the game? Item drop rate. This is another example of confirmation bias, but for this one, I actually had to source out the details for myself. Despite much hearsay to the contrary, there's nothing to indicate luck has any bearing on item drops. I actually tested this via GameShark codes by modifying my luck stat from 1 to 40 and everything in between. And the times when I had an item drop were completely random, regardless whether luck was 1 or 40. Just to make sure though, I used a PlayStation 2 emulator to place breakpoints on the memory location for the Demi-Fiend's luck stat. If luck had anything to do with item drops, the game would stop as soon as I won a battle, as luck would be called. And luck is simply not called after a battle. I even made sure this method worked with other stats like strength, and strength does get called when you make a physical hit. Luck is just simply never called. This is actually one of the things that I confirmed with Zombero. Despite popular belief, luck just has no effect on drop rates in any way. It's completely random. Honestly, I get and don't get this. On the one hand, a lot of games work like this. Final Fantasy XII comes to mind. But on the other hand, it's really easy to argue that the luck stat, which is used for like nothing else in this game, could and debatably should have been tied to the biggest, most important instance of random chance in the game, except for critical hits, which it also doesn't affect. Luck just affects nothing that you would expect luck to affect. Like, come on. Now, this was the one thing I wasn't sure about, and it's actually why the video took as long as it did. It's a mundane thing, sure, but I like to be thorough, and that website did say luck affected this, so I had to be sure, and I had to know how. But without any documentation, it was gonna have to be something I had to do myself. After a lot of testing, I modified my luck from 1 to 40 and used Nocturne's battle debugger to force panic upon Demi-Fiend, and then simply waited for a money drop. And then I recorded every single value I saw. What I noticed was pretty clear cut. As luck increased, the amount of money dropped when under panic decreased. Put to a graph in Microsoft Excel, it pretty well dropped exponentially. With 1 point in luck, the money lost was around 25%, but by the time we got to 40 luck, it was little over 0.5%. Now, obviously there's going to be some random chance involved there, but we could pretty well suss out relative odds using these numbers. You know, level affects enough shit negatively in this game. I should probably check if level does anything. It probably won't, sure, it'd be silly if it did, but just to be absolutely sure... Fuck. Yeah, so level absolutely affects money drop during panic. Negatively at that. Shocker. So I had to suss out how this works. Unfortunately, I'm not as good with the PS2 debugger as I'd like to be, and assembly language is such a pain in the ass that not even a lot of software engineers know how to read it. I tried speaking to Zombero, but he's a little bit difficult to get a hold of. But I did manage to find out that the function for what money is dropped by anyone with the panic status starts around line 26A4D0, and that it's loading a constant float that the player's Macca is divided by. This thankfully made the formula at least somewhat easy to get started, and by speaking to N Macro, I provided him the above info and he was able to get me an answer. So, the formula for money dropped on panic is actually separated into two separate formulas, based upon whether it's an enemy dropping the money or a player unit. For enemies, the formula is Macca dropped, that being the Macca they drop after a battle, times luck divided by level divided by 5 plus 4 plus RNG. Take again, for example, Lilith. She drops 818 Macca after a battle and can be found at level 80 with 15 luck. So her formula looks like 818 times 15 divided by 80 divided by 5 plus 4 plus RNG. So 80 divided by 5 is 16, 16 plus 4 is 20, 15 divided by 20 is 0.75, and then 818 times 0.75 is equal to 613.5 plus RNG. You might be a little confused as to why we're adding RNG this time. Well, the answer to that question is a little weird, because it's not exactly as simple as, oh, whatever the formula is times 90 to 110% like a lot of the other formulas are. In this instance, it's, let me see here. The current RNG seed of the game converted into a decimal, then multiplied by something and added back into the formula. Yeah, that sounds like Atlas. Anyway, for player units, they don't really have a money dropped after battle value, so how's it work for them? Well, it's actually very similar, except instead of a money dropped value, it replaces that with player money divided by 20, and then divides by all of the extra shit. Then, because that value would be astra-friggin-nomical, they just divide the entire formula by 10. It's a bit ghetto to just take a straight base out of the formula like that, but hey, as long as it works. So, let's try an example that you might actually see in the game. The lowest amount of money that you could possibly drop during Panic would happen at level 31, having put all of your 30 points into luck, and then having the Nirvana Magatama equipped. This gives you a perfect 40 luck, so your formula is going to be your total money divided by 20, divided by 40, divided by 31, divided by 5, plus 4, plus RNG, divided by 10. 31 divided by 5 is 6.2, 6.2 plus 4 is 10.2, and 40 divided by 10.2 is 3.9215. So let's say you have 150,000 Macca. Your end result would be 150,000 divided by 20 divided by 3.9215 plus RNG divided by 10. 150,000 divided by 20 is equal to 7,500. 7,500 divided by 3.9215 is equal to 1,912 and change, but that's where the formula gets a little bit ugly. However, we can make this easier by dividing that 10 into the formula itself. Thus, we can turn the above into 191.25334 plus RNG divided by 10. It's actually a bit hard to determine what you'll drop, but this is going to be your baseline. And as far as I'm aware, this video is the only place this information currently exists. And it took literally since the magic video dropped to figure this out, as well as everything else in the video, but more or less this. And looking at it now, after having spent literal months on and off trying to find this exact formula right here, I fucking hate it. Seriously, what the fuck is this formula? Out of every formula in the game, this is the fucking worst. Like, player money divided by 20, divided by luck, divided by level, divided by 5, plus 4, plus RNG, divided by 10? Half of these numbers are fucking arbitrary. Level actually harms you again, too, and RNG, holy shit, RNG. It could just be as simple as making a fucking random number generator and pulling a number in that's 90 times 110, then multiplying that shit. No, that would be fucking easy. Instead, they turn the RNG seed into a fucking decimal, and then mutate that into a monetary value? No one even knows how this works. It's a goddamn fucking mystery. Jesus Christ. This video was a learning experience. I went through everything under the sun to get this done and make this video complete. This video took debugging the game with an emulator, asking several different people, researching several different websites. I even went so far as to attempt to figure out the formula myself with nothing but raw fucking math. And as much as it all hurt, I'm kind of glad I figured it out. I was giving up on this video the day I managed to figure this formula out, and let me tell you, doing that after trying so hard for so long, it felt like a goddamn miracle. And it's awesome to say with certainty that this right here is the definitive video on luck. This video is feature complete, and it has something that no one else has been able to find. I gotta give special shoutouts to everyone who helped me with this. Firstly, the Japanese Wikia that provided much of the base work for this video, but more importantly, super special shoutouts to Zambero and Enmarkro. I highly recommend you check out their work. Zambero's hard-type hack is still super great and makes some genuinely fantastic changes to make the game more challenging, while also more balanced. And Enmarkro's work on the Nocturne randomizer has been absolutely fantastic. Plus, both of them were altruistic enough to help some 20-something with his passion project. Thank you to everyone for supporting me through this stupid endeavor, and thank you for giving us a platform. Stuff doesn't come out as often as I would like it to here, and that's our failing. But to see it so warmly received every time we put out content makes it so worthwhile to put in our heart and soul into every single video. The comments that I received on my Nocturne Demon List video have been genuinely heartwarming. Thank you guys so much for all your support. You make it worthwhile to keep doing this. There's bound to be more SMT on the way, but I will see you guys next time. Love yas, and have a Merry Christmas.